Ascension EAP, Recovery and Resilience, Moving Through Trauma to Growth and Well-Being. Chair Yoga. Presented by Shelley Maxwell.
Hi, I'm Shelley Maxwell, a licensed clinical social worker with Ascension, Wisconsin's Employee Assistance Program. I'm also a registered yoga instructor, and in this video, I'll be guiding you through chair yoga. To start, we're going to be using our grounding and deep breathing that I described in the previous segments and explained why they're so important to incorporate into our self-care. And then we'll do the chair yoga, and we'll end with a seated shavasana, rested pose, where I'll read a poem and give you a little extra time to decompress before returning to your activities. To start, I invite you to bring your feet to the floor and find a supported seated posture. So using a chair that gives you ample back support. And with your feet planted on the floor, bring awareness to the feet, to the heels of the feet, the outer edges of the feet, the balls of the feet, and the inner arches. Now bring awareness to the toes. You might be doing different things, and that's perfectly okay. On your in-breath, start to lift the toes and fan them out, giving them a nice stretch. And on your exhale, lower them to the floor. You can even press them into the floor. And as you release, coming back to the natural breath, release the toes and let the feet rest. Bring awareness to your ankles in relation to your knees in relation to your hips up the back to the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists to the hands. Noticing where the hands are resting, what they're touching. Notice any temperature variations or textures. And let the hands rest. Traveling back up through the arms to the shoulders, up the back of the neck to the crown of the head. The crown of the head to about 5 to 6 inches above the crown of the head. Feeling that space. And coming to rest at your forehead, maybe even the third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. Next, we'll talk about diaphragmatic breathing. So take a nice breath in, let the belly expand. Exhale, bring in the effort to squeeze the breath out, bringing the belly button to the back of the spine. Inhale, release the effort. Let the belly expand. And when you're ready to exhale, gently bring back in the effort to squeeze the navel center to the spine, letting the lungs empty. And then inhaling one more time. And exhaling out. And if you have any confusion or questions about that type of breathing, I'd encourage you to watch the grounding and deep breathing video. It explains why it's so important to breathe that way and gives you a little bit of extra practice. So throughout the chair yoga exercises, let's use that diaphragmatic breathing. So again, inhaling, relaxing the belly, letting it expand. And on the exhale, squeezing that breath out, using the effort in the exhale. So to start our chair yoga, I am going to up so that you can see what I am doing. There. Let's bring our hands to the tops of our shoulders, bringing our elbows in alignment with the shoulders if that's available to you. And taking a nice deep breath in here. On your exhale, shift to one side, squeezing that air out, hugging the navel center in. When you're ready to inhale, move back to center. And then on your exhale, turn to the opposite side. And if you need to scoot up in your chair so you can rotate more, that's perfectly okay. Inhaling back to center. Let's do that one more time on each side. Twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Now we're going to bring some movement into the shoulders, making small circles with the elbows, going one direction. You can slowly start to make those circles bigger if that's comfortable for you. And coming back to center, reversing direction. Continue to hug that navel center in to give you that core stability. Breathing. And then coming back to center. We're going to lift the arms up into the air. Use the right hand to clasp the left wrist. Stretch up, bring in that core, root through those sits bones, and gently start to lean over to the right side, keeping your hips planted. You can look straight ahead. It can be nice to look at the floor and release the neck. You can look up if you want, but it puts extra stress on the neck. Hug that navel center in and breathe. Use that diaphragmatic breathing as you stretch through the rib cage and elongate from the hips to the fingertips. Take 2 more breaths. And then on your next inhale, come back to center and switch. So the left hand is going to hold the right wrist. We're going to root through those sits bones. On the inhale, lengthen up. And on the exhale, lean over to your left side. So either looking forward or looking down. And breathe. So take in a deep breath, letting that belly expand. And exhaling out. Root through that right hip. Stretch through the ribs, under the arm, through the fingertips. Even if you're lengthening just a millimeter. Take 2 more breaths. Inhaling and out. Inhale and out. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. So hopefully you're feeling some warmth, okay? We're gonna clasp the hands and flip the palms, pressing the palms up towards the ceiling. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Root through your sits bones, bring that navel center in, and feel that stretch. Oh, that feels so good. We're gonna slowly lower the arms. And we're going to clasp opposite elbows, bring them back up. And again, we're just going to lean over towards the right, trying to keep our shoulders aligned with our hips. We're not leaning too far over unless you have back issues. Inhale to center and exhale over to the left. Just getting a little bit deeper into the side body here, lengthening. Inhale. Let's do one more on each side. Over to the right on your exhale. Around through that left hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. rooting through that right hip. Very good. Inhale, come back to center. Bring those elbows in front of you. And we're going to give ourselves a hug. So bring those hands up to opposite shoulder. Find a comfortable place for those hands to rest. Just give yourself a nice hug, shrug, open up the back of the heart. Pull that navel center in. And then relax. You're going to start to warm up the neck a little bit. So bring the chin down on your inhale. Exhale, roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. Let it rest. Inhale. On your exhale, roll it forward. Inhale, roll over to the left side, left ear coming towards the left shoulder. Bring that navel center in to give you more core strength. Your exhale, roll center. Inhale, come to the right again, moving with the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, center. Inhale to the left. Now we're going to hold it a little bit longer on each side. So on your exhale, come to center. Inhale, come to the right side. We're going to take 3 breaths here as you just really let the neck lengthen and relax. Softening your jaw, softening the muscles in your mouth, your eyes, and your temples. Relax your forehead. And when you're ready, rolling the head back to center. We'll do the same thing on the left side, bringing the left ear over to left shoulder, taking a few diaphragmatic breaths, intentionally softening the cheeks, soften the jaw, the muscles in the mouth, the eyes, temples, and forehead. Bringing the head back to center, holding here for a breath, feeling that stretch between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, lift the head back to center and release the hands down to your lap. So here we're going to do a cat-cow, and I'm going to move my seat sideways so you can see me, and I'm going to scoot up a little bit. So this is going to give me a little bit more range of motion. So if you'd like to scoot up in your chair, feel free to do so. With your hands resting on your lap, they don't have to be gripping. Take a deep breath in, letting that belly expand. And on your exhale, bring the navel center to the spine and arch the back. So here's the cat. Open up the back of the heart. Feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready to inhale, come forward, feeling that stretch across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Expand the collarbones. And then on your exhale, squeeze the air out, arch the back, bring the shoulders forward. Open up between the shoulder blades. And inhale, expand across the collarbone, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And now I want you to move with your natural breath. So go on your own pace with your exhale, moving into cat. Inhale, cow, let that belly sag. Cat-cow makes much more sense when you're on the floor, but you can also do it in chair yoga. Let's do it one more time, each side. And then come back to neutral. Now we're going to add a hand gesture. And the hand gesture is we're going to bring our hands into prayer, Anjali Mudra. And then on the exhale, we're going to point the fingers forward, reach them. So we're coming into that cat. And then on the inhale, we're going to open up the arms and bend the elbows and then come back. And we're going to move with the rhythm of our breath. So I'll do a few from the side angle, and I'll do a few facing you, but I really want you to focus on yourself, so you don't need to watch me too much. All right, so again, we're gonna bring our hands into prayer, okay? And you can feel your thumbs gently pressing into your sternum, okay? Take a moment. I mean, you can use some grounding right here, you know, to focus on your feet, ground through your feet, your sits bones, and then notice the energy between your palms. It might be warmth. People sense different things between their palms, and feel that connection with yourself. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in, filling that space between our palms. And then on your exhale, reach those fingers forward. Come into cat, squeezing the air out. And then on your inhale, expand. Squeeze the shoulder blades, bring the elbows down, bring the hands together. Exhale. So exhale, giving. Inhale, receive. Bring it back in. Exhale, give. Inhale, receive. We can't pour from an empty cup, so it is okay to do both. We need that balance of giving and receiving. We don't want to always be receiving. We don't always want to be giving. There are times in our life where we're in a position to give more, and there's also times in our life where we need to receive more. And then in those neutral times, we're trying to bring in that balance. So let's do that 3 more times, moving with the rhythm of your own breath, really feeling that expansion in the back of the heart, the front of the heart. Yeah. Lovely. Okay, one more time, make it count. And then coming back to center. We call this Tadasana, mountain pose if you're standing, but you can find your Tadasana seated in your chair. Now I'm going to scoot the chair up and I'm going to come a little closer. And now we're going to come into Shavasana. So lean back in your chair. Keep those feet planted on the floor. You might do another body scan, noticing your legs, your back, and notice how the chair is holding your weight. You can sink all of your weight into that chair and it is not going to collapse. And you can bring in some guided imagery with your feet, for instance, of feeling roots spreading from your feet and anchoring you to the ground. You can do it with the chair, just imagining all your stress, all your anxiety, all the weight you're carrying. Just let the chair soak that up and absorb it away from you. It can be helpful to close your eyes so you can move into a deeper place of relaxation. You can even lean your head back and let it rest on the top of the chair. But I invite you into a comfortable resting position, bringing awareness to your breath, letting the breath become more smooth and even in rhythm, noticing how it's becoming deeper. And I'll read to you one of my most favorite poems by Wendell Berry. The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. From your rested position, bringing mindful awareness of the day-blind stars that we can't see during the day, but are always there. The movement of the animals, the movement of the water, and knowing that this sense of peace resides in you always, and it is here for you anytime you need to visit it. There's a quote that states, let the world be what it is, noise and all. Silence is not out there, it's only within you. So starting to wake up the body, starting to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. You can rub the hands together and place your hand over your face with the fingers closed. You can gradually start to open the fingers, letting light come in as you open your eyes. And then with a deep breath, let the hands come down to the lap. And notice your new sense of self-awareness, the connection that might have deepened with your body and with your breath in the practice. And I'm proud of you for taking this moment for self-care. Keep finding these moments and keep finding that peace within you. Connect with yourself, connect with others. Take good care of your body. Until next time.